Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening wherever you are in the world, and welcome to the Transnation Esports Monday night US regional coverage coming at you from sunny Spain. Well, hopefully sunny Spain. I am joined this evening by Seb. Seb, how is it going, sir?
Hey, just going. It's been a good day. It's going great. Excited for some racing.
Yeah, you know what? Me too. It's for all of us here in the America, well, at least U.S. and Canada, we are coming off of the Labor Day long weekend, so it's been I mean, it's been a heavy drinking weekend. I'll put it that way. So it's been a long, tiring weekend, and glad to be able to sit back here, relax, and enjoy some racing around. Maybe not a track that generates the most exciting racing in real life, but it is a track that can generate some exciting league racing action. Now, Seb, we did our U.S. regional Sunday night race here last night, and it certainly did generate some interesting racing throughout the field. What are your thoughts on this track? Is it one that you like to see us come to, or is it one that you could do without on the calendar?
It's kind of hard to say. I really do enjoy the track. I really do like when we come racing here. I like it, the fact that we do have it on the calendar, but sometimes it can be very hard to put together a good lap with so many spots on the track that just unsettle the car and can put you into a wall with not even a moment's notice.
Yeah, there are definitely a couple spots around this track. I believe it's turn 9, it may be, where you're coming out. It's a sweeping right-hander kind of up a hill, has a good tendency to flip you around, stick you in the wall. Now, looking at the screen right now, there is some dark clouds that are appearing on screen. I wonder if we might see a little bit of rain here this afternoon. That would not be necessarily the most fun thing in the world for these drivers, but they've dealt with worse. And we do see some drivers starting to they're slapping on the mediums perhaps here to go out for their first run. We'll see if anybody attempts to do that. But before we hop into things, we'll just do a quick run through of the championship point standings. Currently in first place, Joseph, that is Bucks J, has 99 points in first. Michael Garone Jr. in second with 93. Michael Schoonert, the Iceman, in third with 64. Daniel Hernandez close behind him with 61 points. Jonathan Duncan with 51 is in fifth. Vince Batterby in the Williams has 30 points. Zach Hockmeyer has 20 points. Trevor Pound has 18. Nicholas Salvanik finds himself in ninth place with 13 points. And Rolly Shields rounds out the top 10 with 12 points. This is Wesley in the Haas has 9 points. Julian Monegro has 7 points. Alex Gutierrez, Bean Sandwich, of course, our reigning Monday night champion, has 6 points. Aaron Boland has 6 points. That is Peter Pan in the other Haas has 2 points, and that is all the drivers that have scored points thus far this season, as we do currently find ourselves with an almost full grid throughout the point standings in this Monday night regional. We do currently have 19 drivers registered. Unfortunately, a couple of them, or a few of them, couldn't make it this evening, but hopefully that will turn back around again for next week. On the constructors side of it, McLaren leads with 154 points from Alpha Tauri with 117. Red Bull Racing is right behind them with 115. A bit of a gap, actually not a bit of a gap, a large gap back to fourth place, where you find Williams with 30, Racing Point with 26. Alfa Romeo is in sixth with 18 points. Ferrari in seventh place with 13 points. Haas with 11 points finds themselves in eighth. Mercedes has 7 points in ninth, and then finally Renault has yet to score a point. It's been a storyline we've been following this season. We do have a new driver that is joining the Renault team this week. can he we will see what he's able to do in that car. That is actually David Aponte in that is where is he? La Quito Jaja. My apologies for that pronunciation if that's incorrect. But he finds himself in the Renault as Michael Garone Jr. goes to the top with a 115.1. So a few drivers opting to take the mediums here. Seb, do you think that we're going to see some of these drivers, like a Jonathan Dunk, try and go for the alternate strategy here early on? We also see Daniel Hernandez, LD Joker, slapping on a set of mediums and putting in a pretty respectable time.
I think it definitely does work. So I was actually able to pull off yesterday a medium, and then at the end softs. But the softs do start to give off very quickly. I mean, I only ran, I think it was 10 to 13 laps on them, and by the end I was at 80% on them. But, I mean, I think it's a medium to hard strategy, I want to say, to be able to go to the end, which definitely, I mean, that's one stop. If you definitely have the pace to run a one stop, I believe you should be good.
Yeah, I agree with you. As we also actually saw Bucks go out on the mediums. He did invalidate his lap though, so Joseph was trying to pull that strategy off, and not going to be able to do so if you invalidate. But it's actually surprising just at how many people have opted to go for the medium tires at the start here. That might lead. Now, this could be me absolutely, completely speculating this here, but if you do see sometimes that the rain might be coming around the midway point in the race, that might be a moment where you opt to slap on the mediums to make sure you start on those so you don't have to make a pit stop until the rain comes. But I mean, that's pure speculation on my part, and it is only the first run of the session, so we'll see what comes of that.
I mean, rain would definitely throw in a wild card.
Yeah, it sure would. We haven't had too many wet races. We've had a wet qualifying session here, but we haven't had too many wet races. So yeah, I'm not. Yeah, well, sorry, I just got distracted by something there, but yeah, I mean, we haven't seen too many wet races. That would certainly throw a big wrench into things, I would say.
I definitely would, but I do like dry racing. So I definitely appreciate the dry racing.
Yeah, that certainly would be. I mean, from a driving perspective, you definitely want to see the dry racing out there. You don't want to see guys going out and sliding and spinning around, but it certainly does add a unique challenge. As actually right now we're seeing Bucks go out for Joseph going out for a run again on the medium tires. So that's certainly interesting. I guess he's seeing that lots of the other quick guys are going out for runs on the mediums, so why not?
I feel like he's running mediums as long as Top Gun stays on softs. But I do know that Top Gun does have the pace to be able to pull off a two-stopper. But I feel like Bucks is trying to get the one-stopper so that way when Top Gun does make that extra pit stop, Bucks is still good to go.
Yeah, that's true. And you know what this might be too is I know Michael has had some unfortunate luck the last few weeks on this Monday night regional. So I wonder if he's just trying to go out there, lay down the absolute best lap that he can do, and not get caught up in any first lap drama, which around Spain, just the nature of that first sector being very twisty-turny, it can certainly lead to some incidents that occur between drivers. Side-by-side racing is a challenge to do through that first sector, and he just might be doing everything that he can to try and avoid getting caught up in somebody else's accident.
That is very true. Once you get caught up in an accident, it can be the difference between Are you staying at the top for the race or falling all the way down to the bottom and catching up from there?
Yeah, and with the pace that we see from quite a few of these drivers, it's not quite so easy to just plow your way back up through the field. Some very quick drivers in this Monday Regional. As Bucks is going to cross the line, he's going to go P4. Interesting that Joseph is unable to break. He's unable to leapfrog over Jonathan Dunk or Daniel Hernandez, and he just squeezes in front of the Iceman, Michael Schoonert. So that's quite interesting that that Bucks, who is our championship points leader right now, was unable to get that done. As we see Trevor Pound retire in the pits, I believe.
I mean, if I was Top Gun, I would leave the softs and try to run out as far as I could in the front to start getting that cushion, since I would be knowing that I would have to do a two-stop.
Yeah, you're completely right. He's going to be needing to go all out right at the beginning of the race, try and build up as big of a gap as he can, and taking a look right now at Dilligaff, that's Zach. He is starting a flying lap also on the medium compound tire. So he is also looking to crack into the top bunch on the mediums. He showed some serious pace last weekend. We'll see what he has in store for us here in Spain in that Racing Point. Only 2 drivers that have not retired from the session have still yet to make their qualifying runs, they being Alex Gutierrez and Zach in the Racing Point. So both of the Racing Points yet to set laps. We'll see what they're able to do here as the session has gone past the halfway mark. But we are seeing a cloudy day here in Spain, and could it mean some rain is on the way? I mean, who knows? And Mike,
that's another fastest lap.
That he does, as just keeping an eye right now on Zach as he comes around the final corner, and he jumps up to P2, a 1:15.5 on the mediums. That is blistering on the mediums, and he goes a half second faster than Daniel, Jonathan, Joseph, and the other Michael, of course, the Iceman.
That is definitely interesting. Top Gun might be having to be worried about some other drivers tonight besides Bucks.
Yeah, this could be quite interesting. Zach that's very quick pace that he's shown around here, and that would be quite something if it'd be a bit of a surprise. I think we saw that he was very fast last week, but it's definitely a bit surprising. It wasn't expected that he was gonna be able to put up a lap quite like that, especially on the mediums.
I wonder what Top Gun would be able to do on the mediums.
Yeah, that's actually a good question. I mean, I don't remember exactly what the tire delta is around here. It could be, I would imagine, probably around 0.6, one would think, but I could be a little bit wrong on that. Just a second here. Gonna send a quick invite. We might get a guest in the comm box. Come on. Oops, daisies. What's going on? Yeah, send Brett a party invite. And
I'll have him as a friend.
You don't have him as a friend. Well, it looks like you are going to have to add him as a friend then. Or Brett. Brett, you're going to make a new friend here this evening, or this evening for us. I guess afternoon for you. As currently we are watching Daniel Hernandez, LD Joker. He is out on a lap as well, and he is out on the soft. So some of these drivers coming out on the softs now, and we missed Ethan Lossing, of course, a full-time driver last year, a part-time driver this year. As in the Ferrari, he has set a 1:15.393 on the soft, so he's putting in some quick laps times as well. Daniel Hernandez, LD Joker, out on the softs. Let's see what he could do. He's only 0.2 up on his previous best time. Oh, he is now 0.6 up. My mistake. So he is definitely making some gains. But where will he end up? He's coming through Sector 3. Into the final couple of corners. Very important to get a good jump off of this last corner. And down the front straightaway. He is going to back out of it. Okay. Backs out of the lap. So just to see what he can do and where he might land. Daniel Hernandez decided to back out of it and see what he can do with that. Interesting that Zach Dilligath looks like he might be coming out on the softs. Seb, were you able to get that invite sent off?
I'm working on it.
Here, I can do it here. All right. As Ethan retires from the session with a yellow flag in Sector 3. Don't really know what for. Oh, no, it wasn't Ethan that retired. I don't think that might have been the Iceman.
Michael still seems to be running with the softs. I really don't think he wants to do a medium run at all.
Well, I think at this point there's not really a point in doing a medium run unless he wanted to see just purely what his pace was up against some of the other drivers on the mediums. Whoa, as we got some serious crowd clapping just popped into the ears there. The Spanish fans just losing their mind to see Michael going around in his McLaren. As I do believe we are now joined in the comm box by the one and only Brett Keenan. Brett, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here, boys. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are around the world. Welcome to the broadcast. Glad to be here. Got the day off work for mental health reasons, not the best reason to be off, but I figured it might be a great time to see in full swing what these American drivers can do.
Yeah, we're happy to have you here. Of course, usually this should be one less distraction for me to worry about while doing the comms. As Brett is a massive fan of the series and loves to chat with the commentators. But it's always fun to have you in the comm box, Brett. And I'm sure with your vast experience in comms and in league racing in general, you will definitely be able to bring some good additional content here to the broadcast team. We're just watching Michael Garone Jr. right now, Top Gun, as he goes around. He is 2/1000ths of a second down on his Sector 1 time. He is out on the softs again and seeing if he can improve on that time as Joseph Bucks jumps up to P2, a 1:15.2 though, so 3 full tenths of a second off of what Michael ran. So Michael could be showing a nice little pace advantage there so far today.
Yeah, I think one of the factors has been for Michael, he was in a bit of a slump. He was telling me earlier, he was talking about how he wasn't feeling the jive of things. His recent performances in this division hadn't been up to scratch. Obviously, I engineered for him in the D&E US race at Abu Dhabi and engineered him to victory. He goes to the top actually now. He's just bettered it to a 14.8. So that's a great time there from Michael. But yeah, once he got that win at DNE, he got his spring back in, and then after that, second place in the Tier 1 Nationals, just behind Andrew Lee, who we all know is the benchmark of that tier. He's got a real spring in his step, and you're seeing it here today.
Yeah, it was actually I was lucky enough to be able to commentate that race that you speak of, that the Tier 1 no assist race in the Netherlands that took place for us here in the U.S. region just a little bit over 24 hours ago. Actually, no, it's 48 hours ago. This weekend is mushed together for me. But yeah, he had an amazing run, and he's definitely has, like you said, some spring in his step. It'll be good to see him running here today, and hopefully he can keep that momentum going. But
well, I can say one thing to Sebastian here. Obviously, I wanted to get your view on yesterday's race. You probably already talked about it, but I only just got not long ago on the broadcast. Pretty eventful race for you. The incident I wanted to know mostly was turn 2. Pretty close to the end. I think you got collected by Cam, I believe it was. Just talk us through what happened with turn 2.
So basically what was going on is every time I was going through turn 2, I was battling with Romney, but I wanted to make sure that he always had enough room, because I never want to hit another driver. I know it's supposed to be close racing, wheel to wheel, but I just get worried about hitting another driver. And what had happened was I felt bad for collecting Cam, because I had just clipped the inside of that turn 2 curb on the inside, and as soon as I put the power down, I mean, 2 wheels on the track, 2 wheels on the curb, and it just did not go well for the car, and the car did just not like it, and it just put me into a spin.
Fair enough. I think I know every driver's name on here, apart from the driver in last place. I know he races in the DNE race, but I haven't got his details, so
that is
else I'm pretty aware of.
Yeah, that is actually a newcomer to the series. This is his first race that he's going to be running, and his name is David Aponte, or I believe I'm pronouncing his last name correct. He's located in Puerto Rico, so within the U.S., but exciting to have him join up as he sets off to try and help Renault get their first points of the season.
Yeah, fingers crossed for Billy there. Today I'm rooting for Billy. Got to get those first points for Renault. He was so close last weekend. Of course, unfortunately, with the rules stipulated that even though I think it was Daniel Hernandez as a reserve for this tier, or something like that. Oh no, it wasn't him. It was
Nicholas Salvanik.
Yeah, it was Nicholas Salvador. So he came in, retired the car, but unfortunately, poor Billy was a lap down. So, unfortunately, we couldn't overturn those results. So here's hoping, fingers crossed, that Billy can finally put one out there, because he's so determined. He's talking about going off traction if turn traction back on if he can't do it. But the message to you, Billy, if you're listening, and this is from the big man himself, who knows more but can't achieve it in racecraft. Just perseverance, keep your head down, and you'll get there.
Yeah, that's exactly what you got to do when the going gets tough. You gotta make sure you keep showing up and putting in your best effort. And I mean, he's gonna get points soon enough. It's just a matter of time. But maybe this will be the week for him.
Should we put Sebi on the spot here and get him to run us through the DXT starting grid?
Sebi, you want to do that?
Through our starting grid?
Our starting grid.
Yeah, as soon as it pops up here in a second, I will go ahead and take us through that.
Once they take off for the formation lap, I mean, it's all yours.
I could totally take a guess, but P1, we are going to have Top Gun, also Michael Garone Jr., second place is Bucks. And then for Joseph, third place will be Chargers. I don't currently have his name down in front of me, but
just throw him out. We'll roll with it.
P4 will be Dilgaf, Zach. P5 will be Alex Gutierrez. P6 will be Iceman, Michael Schooner. 7th is held the Joker, Daniel Hernandez. 8th will be Jay Dunk, Jonathan. And P9, Billy Jex, which will be Bill Vossi. 10th, Soy Loco, Julian Monegro. 11th, Bowtie or Die, which I believe is Peter Pan.
You are correct.
P12, we'll have Papa Sandwich.
Wesley Sandwich, I believe.
It is Wesley. And P13th, we have Hightower, Peter Hayward. P14th, we will have T-Pound, which I believe is Trevor. And in 15th, we have Loquito, which I believe he just said his name, Disco, but I don't have him on my list.
David Aponte. I think that's my fault. I might have not updated the sheet for you, but David Aponte is the newcomer in the Renault.
And then P3 is Ethan Lossing, a reserve driver for the category and a Tier 1 driver in the National Series. Just a little quick note before we start too, for any US drivers who are listening in the stream or in the thing, we are currently in need of some drivers for our no assist division for Transnational Esports National Division. Sundays, New Zealand time of 10 PM, which is 6 PM Eastern Standard Time, and then back on. If you're interested, you can run no assist. Racing line is permitted, so you're allowed to use your racing line. Hit me up, hit Stuart up, hit Michael up, and whatnot. But yeah, I'm going to actually watch the back of the grid for this bit, so while you handle the front.
Yes, as we see currently interesting 6 of the top 10 drivers starting on the mediums. The lights are building, revs are building, and we are away for the Transnation Esports Monday US Regional at Spain. Michael Garone Jr. with a great start off the line. He's going to be clear first into turn 1. Also, Ethan with a great run. He's looking up the inside. Not able to do so. Zach, oh, he's still alongside Michael. They're side by side. Zach and Joseph Bucks are side by side going through turn 3, and so is it side by side for the battle for the lead.
We got spinners in the back here. Peter Pan and Peter Pan had a spin at 2. Aponte was off at 1, strangely.
Ethan Lossing into the lead. Michael Garone Jr. side by side with him still. Both of these drivers on the softs. They need to get a move on. Make sure they can put some time from the medium guys. But oh my goodness, they're still side by side. They're rubbing wheels. This is great racing.
And that's only playing into Dillegath and Bucks' hand.
That it is. Michael Garone Jr. in first. Ethan's going to dive up the inside. Oh, Zach thought about going 3 wide. Doesn't do it, though. And Michael is finally locked down the lead there. But, wow, that was a great first lap of some side-by-side racing between these two Tier 1 no-assist drivers. Now, as you were saying, Brett, there was a bit of some action further down in the field. It does look like Peter Pan is fallen off the rear of the field. Have it with that spin, but he looks to be going again.
Yeah, he came on. It looks like he just did exactly what Sebastian did at turn 2. He's just got on that curb, and that curb at turn 2 just really knocks the wind out of you, especially if you're coming at it at a wrong angle. It's happened to me. Season 2, Tier 2, coming on I was on strategies P2 on hard tyres, hit P2, rear end went, and I was straight in the fence and out of the race.
Yeah, the first laps can be hairy, and I think everybody got away damage free, which is certainly good to see. Just taking a quick peek at the YouTube comments here, Racer X might be maybe interested in the no assist league there. This race is not no assists. We do have drivers that run no assists in this league though, but any assists are permitted in this this US regional.
I mean, the given idea would be later down the line when obviously we start building up a great revenue for this place, because like the US, the regionals in Europe, as Top Gun does do the fastest lap in the race quite clearly, he's pulling out quite a nice little gap there over Ethan. We would like the idea of eventually making assist, no assist division sort of bases, but obviously numbers just aren't the greatest right now. But this is probably one of the biggest regional divisions in the Transnation Esports, which once upon a time struggled to maintain 10 drivers. So the fact we got 15 today, I think it was, 16 yesterday?
Yeah, something along those lines.
And keeping that consistency up every race weekend is amazing. And I wanted to come in here and express my gratitude to all these drivers that have done their part. And of course, also wishing these drivers also a big good luck for the CRL versus Transnation Esports race. Something that I'm actually looking at the idea of converting into for other big leagues. So Dynamics Esports Racing, Race Spec, even AOR maybe. Obviously AOR would absolutely rinse us, but it's something that great organisational skills by you and Michael Garone, as well as Peter Pan, to organise this little event. It's something that we might see on the national scale as well.
Yeah, and in case for anybody that's tuning into the broadcast right now is unaware of what we're really talking about, so the whole idea, it was brought forward to do a little bit of a friendly between the Transnation Esports US Regional and CRL. So how it's going to break down is this coming Wednesday night for us at the same time that we do our regionals, 9 p.m. Eastern. We are going to be running 10 Transnation drivers versus 10 CRL drivers. The 10 Transnation Esports drivers are going to be Lit Romney. It is going to be Not Apollo. We're going to have, of course, Sebastian, who is in the comm booth with us tonight. We're going to have Zach Dilligaff is racing in it. Daniel Hernandez, LD Joker. I Slap Cats, my apologies, I don't know some of these drivers' names off the top of my head. We're also going to have Nicholas Salvanik, Pink Spartan, and we are also going to have Michael Garone Jr. as well as myself racing in that. So,
I was actually about to say, Sebastian, it's quite funny how he said not Apollo. I was going to say, why not?
Regardless if Apollo will be there or not, it's going to be a good time, and hopefully that we can show just the great quality of drivers that we have here in the Transnation Esports.
Yeah, I don't know if you just noticed there, but Zach Hockamere has just made a move on Ethan. Ethan actually opened the door and gave him the spot, so I'm thinking Ethan knows he's kind of cooked against these medium runners, so he's going to let Zach... Oh, we got a yellow flag in the back. That's a Wesley Sandridge. Yep. So both Haas having a bit of an off, and I think Peter Hayward's just gone with him.
Oh, Peter. Peter is back going. Both of those drivers do look like they have avoided any damage, but as you were saying, Zach and Dilligaff, he does look to be making moves here, and I would imagine those medium runners, this is about the time where those tires are going to come in and it start to be a clear advantage over the soft. So I think many of those medium runners that we see dominating 5th through 9th right now, I think they're going to be coming into their own these next couple of laps, and we're going to see a lot of overtakes taking place. At the front, though, Michael Garone Jr. on the softs. Yeah, that's interesting. Maybe just trying to do an undercut on Michael. He was a little bit farther back from Michael, but just struggling with those softs he was. He's opting for the two-stop strategy, slapping on the mediums, and he is away.
So, Sebastian, what's the ideal situation here? Obviously, we didn't have the Oceania race here on Sunday night due to lack of numbers. Didn't really overly pay too much attention yesterday to the strategies because there was quite a few safety car interventions. So, based on what Bucks is doing, is the two-stop as effective as the one-stop?
I think with that it can be. I definitely do believe it can be, but then of course you start running into the variables of, are you going to have the pace? Are you going to have the tire management? Because I believe what Bucks is going to do is Bucks is going to run these mediums, and he might be going to a set of hards afterwards, and then...
Oh, Zach just had a big moment. Sorry to interrupt, Seb, but Zach just had a big moment going through Sector 3, but he looks to be okay.
Is Michael reacting? No, he's not.
Sorry, Seb, you were saying about the tire
Yeah.
strategies.
And then I think for Michael Top Gun, I believe he's going to be doing the same thing as running the mediums to the hards. But then of course you do have the variable of safety cars. I mean, I believe I did a medium to a soft last night, and I wasn't too bad with my pace, but with the softs, I feel like they do start to wear off pretty quickly.
So the undercut looks like it's worked for Joseph Bucks on Ethan Lossing, which was quite surprising because he was stuck behind the Alpha Tower. He was actually stuck, about behind Wesley Sandridge there. Next on his agenda will be Aponte, David Aponte. So looks like he's getting these mediums done. So yeah, the undercut has worked, and Ethan's on the hard, so he looks like he might be trying to take the one stop.
Yeah, as we do see some jockeying back and forth here. That's because Daniel Hernandez is around on the mediums.
That's a little bit further back than I would have thought for a spin there. I think possibly maybe lock the rears.
Yeah, I mean that is like you said, that is
damage.
He does. It's very, very unusual. I wonder if maybe he was trying to avoid somebody, perhaps, as he's coming into the pits. So that's definitely not going to help his strategy here today.
Yeah, there is wing damage. I think it looks like left end plate is missing.
Yeah, missing an M plate.
So did he spin avoiding, or did he collect someone, or was that predecessing damage?
That's a good question. That's something that we probably won't know on our own. But one thing that we do know on our own is that Michael Garone Jr. is out of the pits on the hard compound tire now. So
that explains the halt, because there was a bit of halt with Hernandez stop, so there was just a slight double stacking there.
Oh, but he came out right in front of Bucks.
Yeah, he's 2 seconds in front of Bucks. So that's good for Michael. He knows that him coming out in front of Bucks is huge. Bucks does need to make another pit stop. So with Bucks being on the faster medium compound tires, if Michael can hold him back, then that is going to do a lot for Michael as this race goes on. With Bucks being one of his greatest competitors for a race victory here today.
Well, interesting thing, it's a bit off topic, but I want to grab your guys' view on it, because obviously this was a big startling revelation, is Hockenberg does the fastest lap of the race on the medium, so he's getting those on point. Yesterday morning for me, I guess, Italian Grand Prix, we saw the strangest outcomes with Pierre Gasly taking his first win for AlphaTauri. I mean, that's big. I mean, the last time AlphaTauri or Toro Rosso was labelled back one was that circuit 8 years ago at the hands of Sebastian Vettel. So it's quite an incredible feat, and for Carlos Sainz and Lance Stroll to be on the podium as well. The first time since Hungary 2012 that a dominant force car has not been on the podium, and on top of that, it's the first time in the turbo hybrid era that there's not been a Mercedes, Ferrari, or Red Bull on the podium.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible. It was a fun race to watch, but the one thing that I will say is, while it was a fun race to watch, and the exciting outcomes that did come from it, it was still boring to watch in the sense that you could see the drivers, they were just not able to close up and make passes like you would want to see, as there's a Renault around. I do believe that is David in Sector 1. He is back going, though. But I was a little bit disappointed to see that Sainz wasn't able to quite track down Gasly at the end and maybe get a move done, as now Peter Hayward goes around. Sector 1, there must be oil down or something.
If only.
Yeah.
I might have left that there from yesterday.
Yeah.
So yeah, Seb, your thoughts on that?
I mean, it's really great, you know. I was all for Gasly winning that. I mean, after seeing him being put down by Red Bull, and then I mean his performances have just been on top lately, you know. And it was really nice to see him finally get a win. It was really interesting.
Looks like Joseph Bucks is actually ranged right onto the back of Michael Garone Jr. here, so got a battle for what is effectively the race lead. Your current on-track leaders are Zach Hockenmere and Alex Gutierrez. So the Racing Points 1-2, Red Bull 3-4.
Yeah, and Red Bull has shown that they have a very strong tandem there between Michael the Iceman and Jonathan Dunk. That's a very strong combination that they have. But one of the things that might be a little bit surprising for people that have followed along with this regional throughout the season is seeing Bean Sandwich, Alex Gutierrez, and Zach Dilligaff up there as we have a Renault around again in Sector 1. It's a little bit surprising to see those two up at the top, as they have, I mean, Zach has shown serious pace the last couple of weeks, but Alex Gutierrez, of course, our reigning Monday night champion, has been a little bit off to start this season, and he is off on an amazing run here today, as we look like we have a battle for P6 here, as Bucks is going to make the pass on Michael, take away P6, and now...
Michael!
Oh, and he spins!
Michael's hit the curb at 2!
No.
Oh, he needed a flick it the other way. He needed a flick it the other way. He's losing more time. He should be alright. He'll come out just... Oh, very right of mine just to get back on the grass just that bit to let Wesley Sandridge through. But that is a big situation right there.
Yeah, very unfortunate there for Michael, as he's had a rough go of it here in the Monday Night Regional. But as Bucks does just pick up a 3-second time penalty, if Michael can, there's definitely a window here where he can make things work out and get himself back into this race. I'd be confident in potentially a safety car coming out at some point around this track with some of the trouble points that we have. He just has to put his head down.
Ethan also, remember, is a reserve, so he will likely box to retire near the end of the race as well. So
that's a good point. And with Bucks having to make another pit stop, Michael there's still an opportunity here for him, and I wouldn't rule him out just yet.
Oh, definitely no. Every time he's involved in something, he turns into a man on a mission.
Yeah,
he'll be missing his engineer right now.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to. Yeah, I wouldn't want to be his engineer on the box right now. There might be similar words to what Seb tends to say to his Ferrari engineers, or not our Seb on the broadcast, but Sebastian Vettel. He's had some colorful lines to his race engineers so far this season, but. Yeah, those McLaren guys unfortunately struggling a little bit here tonight, as Daniel also had a spin, and now Michael has. So we'll see how those guys rebound, as Michael's looking to get a position back here, looking to get past Wesley. Whoa! Dirty little pass around the outside in what's that, turn 7 and 8. So he got that done, and he moves up into P8.
I think Sebastian might agree with me on that one. I think Wesley actually opened the door and let him through. That just looked, while it was a good move, it did look a little bit like Wesley did open the door, went a bit wide out of the exit, and then just let things soar through, because he knows that it's not his fight. Obviously Michael's trying to play catch up, and got Julian Monegro coming in, so that's going to bring him up another spot. He's going
to come out in front of Michael.
He is too.
Yeah, so and just kind of to go off what you were saying about Wesley, if I saw that orange blob coming up behind me, knowing that I just passed a spun out orange blob, I would just let him by too. I would not want to mess too much with Michael right now. He's like Seb said, he's a man on a mission, and he's going to be looking to try and get all the positions back that he can.
Look at this. Yep, carry on.
Yeah, just taking a look back at the front of the grid right now. Zach Dilligaff still leads this race for 5.5 second lead over his now pitting teammate. That is Alex Gutierrez being Sandwich, who dives into the pits. I assume to put on the meaty. Puts on the hards. It was showing the mediums briefly. I thought that was a little bit odd.
Come in with him.
And we have an Alpha Tauri around. That is
Trevor.
Trevor Pound has turned his Formula 1 car into a Formula Ford car.
Spinella.
Yeah, Spinella. And I wonder if he is the Gasly car or if he is the Kvyat car, because...
Does that really matter?
we
got a safety car. Safety car.
Oh, wow.
I just thought that. I was watching Michael's footage and just saw the safety car moving out of the pit exit, so...
This is massive.
Interesting. Oh, we got a Renault spun around. That's obviously a Ponte, because Billy's now in the pit, so Billy's played a really good strategy card here, although he's only been on the hard 5 laps, so I'm not sure.
I might have stayed on the hards.
Here's the thing, do you think that mediums will last to the end from here? There's 19 laps to go, and we just saw that some of our medium drivers, they have 13 laps on their tires right now when they were starting to dive in. If you're in a position, say like Michael, do you dive in and slap the mediums on if you think they can last till the end?
I'll let Seb handle that one before I have my say.
I mean, if you definitely got the pace and if you definitely have the tire management, then I would definitely go for the mediums, and then just be extra careful and wary of who's around you on the hards, because they might just have that tiny bit of little extra drifting you do.
Just seen a 5-second penalty there for a Ponte for driving into the back of Ethan Lawson there. So for me personally, I would think no. You're probably, yes, you're going to probably have about 2 or 3 laps behind the safety car. That's going to take you to about lap 18. There's still going to be a wear factor in that, so I think Michael's making the right call to stay on this hard, because obviously he knows he can get the end. Ethan's actually coming, as has Bucks. So he's actually reclaimed what he's lost for the most part. Bucks will come out just behind his teammate Daniel Hernandez, and I'm sure Daniel will play the team game to try and keep Bucks behind him as much as possible. Although Bucks is on the hards as well, it'll be 6 lap difference. But yeah, so technically speaking, once everyone filters through their stops, well, actually no, thanks to the safety car, Zach Hockenmeyer is now your effective race leader.
Yeah, that he is, and with some of the pace that Zach was showing, there's no reason in my mind that that he can't hold up with that for the rest of this race. He's shown some serious pace throughout this weekend so far, and well played strategy for both the Racing Point and now the Red Bull boys as well, as they find themselves in the top 4 positions.
You want to know something scary?
What's
right
that?
Now, so excluding the fact that Peter Hayward is a lap car, you have Racing Point, Red Bull, Mercedes, McLaren.
Yeah, that is true. It's a team game up there at the top, that's for sure.
The Noah's Ark of Formula One.
Noah's Ark. Yeah, hopefully, we're about to cross the halfway. We will cross the halfway point here under this safety car period next time by. But hopefully we have a good second half of this race, as now all strategies have been reset virtually, and how will we see the likes of Ethan, of course, on those mediums, looking to go to the end, I assume. Bill Vosti in 11th place, looking for Renault's first points of the season. He's on the mediums. What can he do on those? And then Trevor Pound as well, who not moments ago turned his car into a Formula Ford, has a new wing on it, and he is back running, trying to catch up to the rear of the grid here.
So if Ethan plays the smart game and pits in early to retire his car, that will put Billy up into that final points position, but he will have a few other cars that'll be more than likely wanting to get their first points as well. Unfortunately for Peter Hayward and for David Aponte, they are a lap down. So for Hayward, personally, I've always been under the basis that you don't have to do it, but the way I've always looked at it, if you're a lap car stuck in the traffic and you don't want to get in people's way, when you know the safety car's coming in, you actually dive into the pits.
That is interesting. Yeah, we of course have seen some colorful safety car restarts here thus far in this season. In the, I believe it was in the Sunday night regionals, as we see the safety cars coming in this lap. We'll see what Peter does. Peter is not one to get in driver's way. So I'm sure he will get out of the way cleanly, whether it's after he crosses the start-finish line or if he dives in the pits. So we'll keep an eye on that. But
and it's also given that he's also in front of his teammate Julian Monegro, so the last thing he's going to want to do is put his teammate in a position where he's not going to be able to strike.
Oh, Zach almost lost it coming around the final corner to get us back underway.
Yeah, and there he goes. He's pulled straight. Well, did a bit of mowing lawns while he did it, but yeah, Hayward's getting right out of the way.
And, whoa, Zach has had a little bit of a shaky restart here. And what it's done is it's really hurt his teammate, Alex Gutierrez, as we have a yellow flag in Sector 1. That is, I believe, still the Mercedes just getting out of the way, and literally getting out of the way of everybody as he lets his competitor, David Aponte, go past him as well. But we have a battle brewing here for P2 between Alex Gutierrez and Michael Schoonert, the Iceman.
So, just looking back on that too, Hayward did get out of the way, but he actually did walk Julian Monegro a little bit in the process, so Monegro does have a bit of catching up to do, but he's going to be needing to look in his mirrors, because there is the angry Michael Garone Jr. who will be looking to try and carve his way through these guys. Obviously, once he gets past Monegro, it's going to be a bit of a mission to get ahead of these guys, unless, of course, and touch wood that doesn't happen, we see a bit of biff and barging for the top guys, or we see an unfortunate mistake.
Yeah, as Zach goes and sets the fastest lap, we're looking back right now at the battle for P7. This is between Daniel Hernandez, Joseph Bucks, and Ethan Lossing there as well. Bucks going around the outside, they're wheel to wheel into turn 1. Bucks might have been a little bit of contact that was made there, but both the drivers have escaped damage and they're on their way. Daniel Hernandez holds on to P7 right now, but Bucks is putting him under some serious heat. Oh,
Very
and now,
interesting too.
sorry, now Ethan Lossing now taking a look in there as Bucks got a little bit of a wobble coming out of, I believe it was turn 3, and Ethan looked to jump on that, unable to get the move done, but he's on mediums too, and he needs to get a move on while those tires are still at their best.
Yeah, it's just with Seb on this, looking at the movers and shakers, so the biggest winners obviously have been your top 4 with 3 for the top 3, 4 for Jonathan Dunk, and then your biggest losers have been Michael Garone Jr. and Joseph Bucks, who were your front row starters. They're down 6 spots apiece. Well, actually 5 for Michael, but Jonathan Dunk just got a 3-second.
And Zach continues to put up the fast laps here. As he's pulled out to a full 1 second lead on his teammate, Alex Gutierrez, and Alex Gutierrez has pulled out a 1.3 second lead on P3. That is Michael Schoonert, the Iceman.
How Hockamira's tier 3 escapes me.
Yeah, Zach does have some serious pace, and yeah, he's shown some serious speed in this Monday Night Regional, especially the last couple of weeks.
Well, taking into account, there's a lot of drivers in these divisions, like him, Matthew Elliott, obviously, who race hard, and obviously Matt, who unfortunately lost out on a P2 finish last night after a spin on the final corner. They're in tier 3, so they do have the pace to be up tier 2. It's just obviously they feel like they're competitive in tier 3. The results probably haven't gone either way in that result either, but then in saying that, it's the same for me. I'm in tier... Oh, was that Hockey having a spin? It was so close.
Yeah, that card looks to be a little bit unsettled. He has had some wild moments, I've noticed, throughout this race so far.
So, actually, just looking at the back there in the top 10, so Billy is now in the 10 as a result of something. I'm not sure who he's managed to get past, but his teammate is now playing the backup game of keeping Peter Pan at bay. In fact, well, not that they're really that far apart from each other, but obviously Haas and Renault trying to work together in their own little way for Peter Pan to get up to Billy, and then at the same time, Aponte is looking to try and keep Peter Pan at bay, but he might need to be careful on that, because once he gets the call to get out of the way, he's going to need to do it, and he needs to do it fast.
Yeah, and taking a look at this battle right now, this is for P5 between Michael Garone Jr. and Julian Monegro. Julian, maybe falling a bit under pressure as Michael made some serious gains on him through the hairpin turn 10. But Julian did pick up a 3-second time penalty, so he's definitely feeling the pressure maybe a little bit from Michael breathing down his rear wing.
Was that? Someone went off at 3. Oh, someone went off that last turn, picked up a huge amount of dust.
Yeah, that was Julian, so that's going to seriously hurt his run down the front straightaway. We're riding on board right now with Michael Garone Jr., who goes to the inside into turn 1. He's going to get that move done easily, and he moves up back into the top 5. Nice move done there for Michael as he took advantage of a bit of a mistake from Julian, and now he sets his sights on Jonathan Dunk. Yellow flag in sector 1.
Trevor Pound.
That is Joseph Bucks.
Oh, Joseph Bucks!
Joseph Bucks is around on the hard compound tire, our championship points leader. It down to 10th in the points, moving out of the way. He is now down into 12th. Man, oh man, our championship points leaders are having their troubles today.
And Sebastian, if I was Billy right now, I'd be menacingly grinding my hands going, excellent.
I mean, I would be too, sometimes that's just how it is, you run a clean race, you be patient, and sometimes it just comes to you.
And with Ethan as a reserve, that could be P8, so instead of looking for that singular point, he could be looking down the barrel of at least 2. Maybe even, oh no, sorry, that's 4. Peter Haywood, another penalty.
Yeah, Peter struggling a little bit there in that other Mercedes, but also something to keep an eye on here is Alex Gutierrez is gaining on his teammate. We could have a battle for the lead here before too long, and Alex Gutierrez looks to have settled in nicely, or be settling in nicely on that wheel.
And that's strange too, because Dilligaff just did the fastest lap of the race too, so there must not have been a hell of a
Oh! I think that might be your problem. Why Alex is gaining on Zach so much is that car looks so unsettled for Zach, as he is doing amazing things to keep that pointed in the right direction.
He's got to have some superpowers going on in that cockpit to be able to keep that car on the track after some of these flips.
Haywood off again at 2.
All I want to say is I don't want to be doing Zach's laundry after this race, because that's not going to be a fun load to do.
God save us.
I
always wanted to join this commentary team, honestly.
Hey, we have our fun here in the U.S. regionals, so nice little morning, or not morning. Well, that's I guess an afternoon drive or an afternoon watch for you, Brett. But nice little way to end our day here after a nice Monday. But
just crossing on 2 o'clock in the afternoon here, so.
So nice filled up from lunch, and now ready to watch some great F1 action here. 10
Well, the funny thing about it is that we usually watch this at work, so by the time you guys are on, it's near the end of my work shift, so it's one of those ones that it's great to watch after unwinding. Renault off at the last turn.
Oh, that I believe is David Aponte, as he brings it into the pits.
Dilligaff with a 30-second penalty.
Oh, that could mean something for the finishing results of this race, as I believe Alex might be penalty free. Might have to check on that in a minute, but with 10 laps to go, Bucks has made his way back into the top 10, just getting past Peter Pan to crack the top 10 again. But in other news of some of our top championship contenders here, Michael Garone Jr. has caught up to Jonathan Dunk. Perhaps one of the hardest passes in this Monday night league is Jonathan Dunk, and Michael has a great run on him going into turn 1. I don't know if he's going to be close enough to get the job done, though.
Threw his nose in there, made him see it. Sector 1. That's Monegros had a moment at 1.
Oh man, that's unfortunate. I think his teammate might have played a part in that. I know he was just coming out of the pits, so hopefully that was not the case, but regardless, Julian did lose a couple positions there.
So I wonder how much traction Michael's going to have towards the end of the race, because he's on 15-lap old hards, and I know he's pushing all the way to the end.
Oh man, as you were saying that, Seb, I'm on board with Michael, and he had a bit of a moment going through turn 8. He had a bit of a tank slapper there, and he managed to save it, so I think that might answer your question. The traction might not be looking so good for some of these hard runners towards the end of this race.
Well, how about we take a moment to enjoy Michael at his best? So why don't we, viewers at home, crank your TVs up. We'll ride on board with Michael as he attacks Jonathan Dunk, so let's have a look. It's always a good spectacle to watch these kind of things in their prime. Obviously, it looks like Michael really does have the edge on Jonathan through the final sector, but just doesn't seem to have the carry on through sectors 1 and 2. He could be on for a move here. I
think so. As you say that, he's got the ERS crank, the DRS crank. He's about to run out of ERS. He's going around the outside into turn 1. Side by side here for 4th place.
Oh, not again.
Michael picks up a 3-second time penalty through it, though. Unfortunately, a 3-second time penalty might come back to haunt him. As there's a yellow flag in Sector 1, I don't think that was for anything significant.
It looked like Ethan might have been giving the spot up to Julian there, so it was hard to tell. But Sebastian, based on that lap, it looked like Jonathan was a little bit edgy through the final sector.
It really does, yeah. It looks like he was trying. I feel like he's starting to crack a little bit under the pressure of having Michael behind him. But I mean, he's got to. I think that's what he can't see either. Is that he doesn't know that Michael's on 17 laps of medium.
Yeah, one of the things, the interesting things, you see what your person's tyres on. You can tell RChef what old tyres are on, but it would be almost nice if they added the tyre length of these people. Oh, and we've got Wesley Sandridge off. And a safety car.
Oh! Just past the pit lane, though.
But his teammate has dived in.
That he has, so how many of these drivers are going to opt to make a pit stop here? I think we're going to see everybody come in and slap on. Actually, you know what? I don't think we will. To end this race, there's going to be 3 laps to go. So
yeah, it's too risky. It's too risky for the top 5 to take a gamble. For Daniel Hernandez, it was a perfect opportunity because he was right there.
If you're in the position of Michael, though, and I don't see why you wouldn't make that move. I mean, what do you two think? Do you think Michael, he's in 5th right now, he'd be the one that everybody's attacking, and everybody else is going to be on a set delta, so he'd be able to make it around and should come out in front of those guys. But
is Hayward and Aponte come together?
I believe they might have.
No, that was Billy, in fact. Oh, no. No, it's the
safety
car.
car.
Oh, he's hit the safety car. He's hit the safety car. It has to be. Let's see.
No.
Who's coming through? Trevor Pound.
I have noticed that the safety car has just been sitting in the middle waiting for everybody, and I think that's what he didn't see.
happened before in the, what race was it? The F2 National race in Zandvoort. I was behind Michael Poland, Polish Sniper F1, who's your fellow commentator in Tier 1. We came around turn 3, the sweeping left-hander after the first 2 corners, and he fanged to the right, well, to the full left, and I stayed to the full right, and then the safety car just popped into existence right in front of him.
3rd, 4th, and 5th are into the pits here. Red Bull double stacking, everybody going for the softs.
And that's a benefit for Michael there, because as you say, Jonathan Dunk is a very tough competitor in the field of defence, so that's one driver less to worry about. Can Michael? Wow.
That's gotta be. I mean, so the one thing, this might be a good opportunity now to take a look at what penalties we have. We do know that Zach has a 3-second time penalty up at the front. We do know that Michael has a 3-second time penalty, and we do know that Jonathan also has a time penalty to his name. The question marks in my mind are Alex Gutierrez, Bean Sandwich, and Michael Schooner, the Iceman. If they don't have 3-second penalties, I really like Michael.
He does.
Who does?
Alex has a 3-second time penalty. It had I forgot what we were talking about, but it had popped up.
Okay.
I believe picked up a 3-second time penalty.
So I mean, then the only question in my mind would be Michael Schooner and the Iceman and what it looks like for him.
Michael Schooner actually does have a penalty. He actually got his penalty on lap 3.
Ooh.
In fact, he got a penalty plus 2 warnings.
Oh, so that's he's going to be riding on pins and needles for the last few laps of this race.
Well, you say that, but then, so he got the penalty plus 2 warnings on lap 3, and then from lap 6 and 7 he's got 2 warnings, and then lap 12 he's got a warning. So I don't know what that means. He's got 3 penalties.
Now, I'm seeing here that Daniel Hernandez, LD Joker, has a drive-through penalty to serve. That's not something that he's going to be able to serve under safety car. I don't think, is it? That's something he's gonna have to serve before the end of this race.
Yeah, no. Well, it's a 5-second stop goes. You can serve in the pits. Drive-throughs you can't. But there was a glitch in last year's game that if you can't serve the drive-through in the allotted amount of laps, so if it goes over lap 31. He can take the finish, but I believe he'll get a 20-second time penalty for doing it. So, do you take a punt, drop to the back of the field, or do you try and build a gap so that when you do get hit by that 20 seconds, is it going to hurt you? But right now, based on where he is versus the next driver, he would probably end up behind Peter Pan. So he would end up out of the points.
Oh, leader spin!
He's held it!
He's going to keep first, and that's only because his teammate was generous enough to slow up for him. But, oh my goodness.
His tyres will be cooked. Just settle it down, Zach. You've got a few laps left to go. Right now, you are the leader, and you're a leader. Although, in saying that, we've
safety
also
car,
got...
Safety car in this lap. A lap early. That's a bit surprising.
Jonathan, Julian Monegro, no, he's got penalties as well. Ethan obviously is going to back out. Bucks has a penalty. Actually has two penalties. Billy has a penalty. So yeah, I think this is just a pure race for sheep stations here.
But as we rejoin our leader with Zach, 13 lap old hards. Can he hang on till the end of this race here on those hards? He's gonna have to hold off.
I think Iceman just drove into the back of Renault. He did.
But
it's been given to Aponte.
It's interesting.
What about the damage?
As we're back, and Zach has gotten off to a very good lead with the Iceman falling behind. Again, due to that car being in front of them, he did not sustain any noticeable damage on that car, but what it really does do is it really hurts those soft runners.
Top Gun just ran into the dirt a little bit.
Yeah, so he is able to hold that position for now, but Jonathan Dunk going to the inside. Contact! Jonathan's around, and that's Jonathan's retired. He is out of the session.
Billy with the Stephen Bradley just avoid the spinning Daniel Hernandez. He's up to P7.
Billy in the Renault. He was able to get through, and if we didn't have 3 laps to go in this race, I believe that would have been another safety car. What this has done, though, is the Iceman right now is closing in on the back of Alex Gutierrez, being sandwiched on those medium tires, or on those hard tires Alex is on. We'll see if Michael is able to get this done, but wow.
So, Seb, who do you think was... I mean, there was obviously enough space given by Michael heading into the corner, but that camber of corner was just...
Billy and Daniel Hernandez were just in a bit of a bender there. I believe Bill got away without damage. He did. He holds P9.
And Ethan's pitting, which I would presume to be retirement. Yep. No.
And
sorry,
Joker.
that's... Yep, so they both have.
That is going to lock up perhaps a double points finish for Renault.
I don't think so, because I think Aponte is actually 2 laps down.
And sorry guys, as we were saying,
no, there is 2 laps to go.
There is a move for P2. So Michael Schooner, the Iceman, has been released. He is going to try and chase down Zach Dillegaff for the race victory here today.
So, who's that behind Billy on track? There's a car there, but it's not. It's an AlphaTauri, but it's not registered as.
That must be just coming up on your stream, because I don't see an AlphaTauri on. Oh no, an Alpha. That should be Trevor Pound.
Yeah, it has vanished. Oh no, sorry, I was looking at Aponte.
Michael Garone Jr. closing in on Alex Gutierrez. This could be for a podium spot here as well, as the Iceman is not really making great gains on Zach. He has got to put it all into this next lap here, try and track down the current race leader. The softs are going to be starting to lose out their pizzazz here. Of course, tire deg, especially on those softs, is a little bit high around this circuit.
Yeah, but I mean, you got Gutierrez on 5th, 17 lap hard, so there's a certainty that he'll get through. But yeah, I think, just trying to think, Aponte we'll see, and obviously, they retired in the pit, so we might see a double points finish for Renault. So I do apologise to any Aponte fans that might have assumed that I spoke out of line there. So, but yeah, Hockenmeer looks like he may have got this sealed.
Yeah, it does. 1.3 seconds the gap right now, so the Iceman has made some serious gains on him through Sector 3, but Zach does have half of his ERS to burn on this final lap of the race, as he's going to come around the corner, start his final lap of the race. We're going to keep an eye right now on Top Gun and Michael, who is trying to close in on Alex Gutierrez, but unable to do so with the DRS train that is forming.
And there we go, so Aponte does go up to P10.
So that will give Renault a double points finish. Their first points of the season.
I think there was just a change there for position between Bucks and Monegro as well.
There may have. They're actually side by side, so that would make sense. The AlphaTauri driver and the Mercedes driver going at it. That's big for Bucks, as he is trying to hold on to the championship points lead. Of course, battling it out with Top Gun Michael right now, who's trying to get past Alex. Alex doesn't have DRS. Michael with DRS. He's not going to be close enough to pass him, though. And it doesn't look like the Iceman is going to be close enough to pass Zach either. Maybe another couple of laps and he would have had him, but Zach is looking very poised as he comes around the final corner here. He had some very scary moments today in Spain, but Zach is going to win the Spanish Grand Prix. Michael Grove Jr.
Oh, that's what the 5-second was.
Yeah, Michael pops up to P2.
Wow.
He also leaped over Alex Gutierrez. The Iceman, Michael Schooner, does fall to P4. Trevor Pound, P5. Bucks,
and Billy
P6.
gets points.
Bill Vossi does get points. Julian Monegro, Peter Pan, Bill Vossi, and David Aponte in his first race in Trans Nation brings home some points.
So the team came in with the expectation of at least getting points for Billy. They've come home with 3 points, so they'll be absolutely thrilled they've finally done it. But Zach Hockenmere, what a drive. Like you say, probably not the cleanest drive. Probably, like you say, the laundry is going to be
messy. That is where we will leave that. It was, and also Michael Groen Jr. also picked up the point for having the fastest lap of the race. So well done to him, as a nice rebound drive for the McLaren driver. We will now work on getting here the top 3 finishers into the party chat. Ooh. Seb or Brett, I don't know if you have most of these guys on.
I think I've only got Michael.
Alrighty, I will bring in Zach, and I will send the invites quickly here. No kidding. He did have a great run. He deserves the champagne if he has been saving that up. So invites are out for the top 3 drivers. Hopefully we'll be able to get some of them join in the session. But I think one of the things that kind of blew me away here today, and I don't know about you two, was just the pace of those racing points. They opted for a good strategy to start the race, and it paid off well for those two.
Yeah, it was a great result for them. I mean, obviously, like we've been saying, Zach Hockenmere just having all those scary moments. Just car did not look on point. Obviously, Alex Gutierrez, who is the defending champion, looking to kind of salvage a bit. He hasn't. I don't think he's raced recently either, so he's getting himself back on the board. But yeah, great result for the Racing Point duo.
Yeah, and I do see that we have 2 of the drivers joining the party. I don't know if we're going to get Alex to join. If we do get him, we'll make sure to have a word with him. But I think the driver that we are going to jump to first here is our McLaren driver, Michael Garone Jr. Michael, an up and down race here for you today. Of course, a bit of an unfortunate event happening there in turn 1, but an absolutely amazing recovery drive for you to bounce back and get P2. I know it's been a bit of a hard go for you here the past couple of weeks, but that's going to give you back the championship points lead. And do you want to talk about your race and the ups and downs that you had today?
Yeah, that curb at turn 2 is ridiculous. It's like you can monster over it, but if you just slightly bounced off of it or just give it a kiss, it just spins the car around. So, I mean, that's where you want to be when you're on the limit, but you can't even use it, so it just spins you right around. But yeah, from there it was kind of just a recovery drive, and then got lucky with the safety cars and was able to put on the softs at the end. I don't know what happened with Jay Dunk and I. It seems like I'm pretty sure I left him enough room. I'll go back and look at it, but it seems like he just tried to send one and spun off my rear tire. Don't know if I could have gone any wider there. But yeah, I mean, looking back, if I don't spin, I probably put myself in good position to win the race, and then picked up a 3-second penalty battling Jay Dunk. And I mean, I don't really agree how I got raced again tonight by him, but nothing over the limit he's doing, just kind of defending harder than I would in a situation where, you know, a driver is clearly faster than you and is probably just going to blow right by you and pull away by a second in a lap, and kind of just tries his best to get in the way, which is fine. Like I said, he has every right to do that, but it's a little bit frustrating when you kind of don't get the respect that you would probably give the same person if you were in that situation the other way around. But yeah, happy to get the points lead back. I mean, pretty sure Bucks had the same situation I did. I didn't he was behind me, but from the dot on the mini map, I'm pretty sure he spun at the same exact point that I did. So
yeah, it was definitely an eventful race for actually all of the drivers rocking up there at the top of the standings. But regardless, Michael, it was like you said, it was a great rebound recovery drive for you this weekend. I'm sure there's still more points that you want to improve on. But what are your thoughts going into Monaco here? It's definitely a track that it can cause lots of problems for drivers, for everybody. And what's going to be your mindset heading into next weekend in Monaco?
I think generally I'm going to struggle more than you usually see me struggle, just because I'm on a controller in Monaco on this game just doesn't. Yeah, it's the one place where the pad isn't OP, so I'm sure. I mean, I did some time trial laps around there this morning, and I felt pretty good. I'm just generally worried about keeping it out of the walls and doing a solid, 39 laps there. It's going to be a really tough race. So.
Yeah, everybody will be having to go through the same struggles, but I mean, hopefully for your sake, you find yourself in a good position to hopefully contend for that race win next weekend, and hopefully we'll be talking to you again next week.
Yeah, thank you.
I'll just grab a quick word myself and maybe see if Seb has anything to ask. But for Michael, for you, obviously it's very disheartening when you have an off like that in turn 2. Like I say, I've had that experience myself a couple of times in races there. The general perspective is get back on track, get on with it, and not cause any problems. Do you personally think, like, obviously you got past Wesley with not too much issue, sounds like, looked like he kind of made it easy for you, but just give the people at home, what's the general mindset that goes through a person's head? Obviously, when you're racing for what would have been at that time the effective race lead of the race, to spin out like that, what mindset goes through you when you're trying to recover yourself, get back on track, and then trying to vouch for that win?
I mean, it's a huge gut punch. I'm not going to lie. It's not something that, you want to happen, but you could either sit there and dwell on it for the rest of the race, or you could just focus forward and get on with the rest of your race and do the best you can to just recover. I knew at that point it was going to be almost impossible to win the race. It would have definitely been impossible to win the race without those safety cars. I mean, those 2 safety cars gave me a chance to even get that close and even score a podium. Without those safety cars, I probably would have finished 6th, 7th, something like that, maybe 5th, not on the podium. So, it's tough. It's a gut punch, and you kind of... I'm somebody who dwells, so I'll probably sit here tonight and think about that incident over and over again and what I could have done differently to avoid it, but at the end of the day, there's not much you could do about it.
The way I look at it, mate, just take your head away. You got back up to P2. Yes, safeguard intervention played a part in it, but you're red hot. Seb was saying you're a man on a mission, so you definitely proved that to us. And it's always a credit to watch these kind of things. First time I actually get to watch it as a commentator rather than just the rambler on the YouTube comments. But yeah, so Seb, do you want to add?
That was just a strong, great race, man. Congratulations on your P2. How did you face the tire management? How are you feeling? Since I know you did get the chance to put the softs on, how were you feeling before you were able to put those softs on, with the thought of having to go all the way to the end with those hards?
I'm starting to feel a little bit bad for Zach here. He gets what I think is his first win, and he doesn't even get questions. So, but yeah, just really quickly, I mean, I was running quite low wing on the front and pretty tough on the left front tires specifically. So even that first stint was really rough. I mean, Zach was able to claw me in pretty easily on the mediums. And those hards, they would have made it, but the wear would have been pretty high, probably somewhere in the 70s or 80s. But yeah, just got really lucky for that safety car to come out with a few laps to go to where I could put the softs on, and I had a good enough gap to where I wouldn't lose any positions. I actually gained a position because the Red Bull's double stacked, so I got one of them through the pit stop cycle. But yeah, other than that, good race. Happy with the recovery. Why don't you guys give Zach some love now?
Yeah, let's bring in now our race winner here, Zach Hockmeyer in the Racing Point. Zach, an incredible run for you as you took advantage of being able to take those mediums really deep into that first stint, and then getting the safety car timing at the perfect time, slap on the hards, and you were able to rock those to the end. It was a little bit hairy at times, though, as we saw throughout the second half of that race. A couple of hairy moments there for you, near spins and under the safety car. But you kept it together, man, and showed some incredible pace throughout the entire weekend, and brought it home with a win. Do you want to walk us through your qualifying to start, and then ultimately your race? Oh, Zach. Sorry. Zach,
No,
sorry.
no, I know where you're going with this, Stuart. No.
No. I'm sorry to interrupt you. Just make sure that your audio is set to public, that it can be shared.
That was for the record. That was my question. That was my question for the record, Stuart.
No, Zach or Brett. Don't worry. We just want to make sure that Zach, your voice gets broadcast to the world. Don't worry, Brett. I don't think I'm gonna go there.
I think I got it.
You think you got it? Okay.
You can go there. It's cool. I love the questions. Fire away, man. What's up?
Okay, so the question. I'll go it out there. How are your undies?
Dude, when that safety car on that, like, the coming in on the last one, I was like, my tires at the end were like, they were blue, man. They were like 160 Fahrenheit, and I was like, shit, man. So I just like looked down and just like gunned it, trying to get those tires spun up, and just caught the corner, and I was just praying for dear life I wasn't going to touch that wall.
It was good respect, though, from Alex to actually slow down to let you filter back in, because he could have actually very easily have just taken the lead off you, and because you were off the track, you wouldn't have really had anything to go by. But so yeah, good respect by that.
Major respect, and you know, even off that last safety car, I knew how important it was to get that start on everyone, because of those. My hards weren't gonna, compete with brand new softs, so I managed to put a 2-second gap, I think, on second into the fifth corner of the first lap after the safety car. So I prayed to God that the tires were gonna hold, and gave her hell.
And what was the end percentage?
It was, I think, 65.
Okay.
65%, not bad.
That's not too bad then. Now you probably heard me ask the question to Michael, but next week we head to Monaco, where having some of those scary little moments there, you're not going to be able to get away with those quite so easily around the. I mean, calling it a tunnel might be a little bit of an over-exaggeration, but it basically is sort of a tunnel around there. What are your thoughts going into Monaco, and is it a track that excites you, or is it one that you are just going to be thankful that it's over with?
I think you go in hoping for a good race, no matter what race weekend. Monaco, you kind of have a little bit of an understanding that you're going to have to deal with, cars that are either slower than you. And I've found out in my last league race, if you get behind people that really haven't practiced for the track, it's a nightmare, because they're braking in points that they shouldn't be, and it's messing up your times and stuff. And just like Top Gun was saying with his race today in Spain, you get behind some guys that really aren't running the pace that the top 5 to 10 are, it's so hard to get around them respectfully without putting yourself or the other driver in danger. So, and that's exemplified in Monaco as well. It's gonna be really interesting. Qualifying is gonna play huge, and whoever drives the perfect race is gonna probably win it. So.
Probably one of the more wiser answers to that question I've heard in a long time, actually.
That's what I was thinking. Spot on, man. Do you have a press team that you're working with, or?
No. I just love that one, man.
How do you think I got on my commentary prowess, Stuart?
Yeah. I mean, Seb, do you have anything to add here? Ask Zach, or?
What are you like? Drinking water, taking juices, bro. Like I want to know what kind of what I got to do to get those superpowers that you have to save your car the way that you did. Because there were some where I was watching it and I'm just like, I would have retired. Because I know
I think we're all jumping out of our seats, or full on shitting ourselves, not just you.
Yeah, no, I try to set the car up to where I can push it on that edge, with worn tires as long as I can, but it comes at a cost of a lot of scary moments. So, but yeah, just paying attention, trying to stay on that line as best I could. I felt like I could get through sector 1 a lot faster. I think I had a little bit higher downforce than a lot of the other guys did, and I could get through those turns better. So, as long as I kept them on the straights, I didn't think I was going to have any problems. So.
Yeah, and I mean, at the end of the day, you had a masterful run here and brought it home with a very convincing victory. So congratulations, Zach, and congratulations to all of our podium finishers today on a great race. I think that is a good point for us to wrap things up here today. First, I would, of course, like to thank Brett for joining us in the comm box here this evening for us in the afternoon for Brett, and of course Seb. It's been a pleasure doing this race with you guys. It was a fun race, and I hope that everybody enjoyed today's coverage of the Transnation Esports Monday Night US Regional. Join us over the next couple of days for the European Regionals as they also motor around Spain and into this coming weekend where the National Series will take on this Spanish track. On behalf of Brett, Seb, and myself, thank you for tuning in, and we will talk to you next week.